Where did you live?
I live what would be considered midtown
Okay.
in the black community.
Near what streets?
Alexandrine. I
Okay.
lived on Alexandrine, right near Harper Grace Hospital.
Okay.
And we were like in the middle. Black Bottom was down on the other side of Gratiot.
Okay.
And I was quite a ways from Gratiot.
Okay.
And North End started at Northern High School. What is that up there? Is that Chicago? Not Chicago.
Claremont, but it's
Joy.
Owen. It's Owen on the other
yeah,
side.
around that way. And that's where a great number of people who became artists at Motown lived.
Mm-hmm. So what year were you born?
1927.
And where?
Here.
Where in Detroit?
At the name of that hospital. Anybody black that was born here, that's the hospital they were born at. Herman Keeper.
Okay. As a child, what was life like in your community? What are some of the things you remember?
Well, as a small child, I lived on Alfred Street, which was right in the middle of the Italian community. More so than when I lived on Alexandria. And during that time, all the merchants who owned stores and things lived in the community. They usually lived upstairs over their stores. So it was like an international village. You know, you had all kinds of people. And we even had gypsies who came on a regular basis. And they had a storefront that they rented that they would live in until it was time for them to travel to the next stop. So, but the house that we lived in was owned by an Italian family, and we rented from them, and that helped my family to get their money together to purchase a house. But right before they had a chance to purchase a house, the market crashed, and we remember my mother came home, and she heard about the market crashing, and she just passed out, hit the floor, blam. And in later years, I asked her, I said, well, Mother, how much money did you lose? Had you saved toward the house? She said, $300. I said, $300? She said, Evelyn, $300 then was like $30,000. She said, we would have been able to buy a nice house. The house we lived in was in two parts. It had downstairs, and then they had like our apartment upstairs. Oh, they didn't call it an apartment because there was 3 bedrooms and living room, dining room, kitchen. You know, just it was the same as the one downstairs. The only difference is that we had a bigger kitchen. We had a parlor downstairs, and of course, because we rented from the Italians, we had our big grapevines and everything outside, and a little place to grow vegetables and stuff like that, and a place to hang our herbs and keep the potatoes and stuff like that.
So what kind of vegetables did you grow?
My mother, Grandma Doll grew mostly herbs and stuff like that. She didn't grow regular vegetables because we lived too close to the Eastern Market.
She would grow herbs for what? For seasoning or for medicines or what?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great big book. I told Angie, and I wish I knew where it was, but we didn't keep up with it. She had this huge book, and it had everything. Anything that happened, what you did, and what kind of herbs you used for what. And, she was, I forgot what they called her, when they, midwife, something like a midwife. And she could take care of all kinds of things. If something happened in the neighborhood, she was the one that came to come and fix a cut, or, you know.
So where did she get that knowledge from?
I don't know. She came from Memphis, and she was what was considered high society. But she used to come up every summer to Wisconsin, to the culinary schools there. and to take some other classes, and that's where she learned. I guess she was a cook. She was an excellent cook. She could cook anything.
This is your mother's mother.
No, I call her Grandma Doll, but she was really our guardian. See, when I was born, my mother was not 21. And in Michigan, if you were not 21 and you were not married, you couldn't hold a job. You couldn't do anything legally unless you had somebody. So she was married to my uncle. There were two brothers, my father and my mother, and then Doll and the older brother. So she was made legal guardian of both me and my mother. And we didn't start calling her Grandma Doll until after her brother, who was adopted by her mother, got married and had a child. When he had a child, then in order for us to get her to call Doll Grandma, we started calling her Grandma Doll.